Hey everyone, it's Cindy at Opera Bracelets here for a brief Friday opera chat. This month we are celebrating Wagner's Ring, not least because you can watch the Ring for free on San Francisco Opera's website. So now let's get this clear. The operas are free. You do not have to pay for the operas if you go to their website at the appropriate time. I think you got to register with your email address or something, but you don't have to pay anything. The operas are free. So each weekend of March, there's a different Ring opera. So tomorrow is Das Rheingold, starts at 1 p.m. Now you can pay for a festival pass, and they have lots of like auxiliary Ring information, like talks and lectures and interviews. So if you want to fully participate, you can pay for the festival pass. But if you don't have time for it right now, or you already know everything about the Ring, you can just watch the operas for free. It is the Zambello Ring by director Francesca Zambello, and it has a Gold Rush theme. So I don't know what it's going to be like. I've never seen it, so we're going to plunge in tomorrow. So I thought we could have a review of the synopsis through the Das Rheingold bracelet. And the link in the description will take you to my Ring Cycle book, which is a fun way to look through all the Ring Cycle products. And or you can just hit shop and you're going to see Wagner's Ring category right there to see any of this. Now, some of the Ring items do not have a lot of stock because I didn't know they were going to do this at San Francisco Opera. But if anything sells out, I will put it into pre-sale and we'll get it to you as quickly as we can. The mail between me and my main supplier is wonky. Things get stuck for 2 weeks. So we'll do our best. That's all we can do. All right, so I'm going to flip around and we're going to look at the Das Rheingold bracelet to have a little look at the story of the opera. All right. So you may or may not know Das Rheingold is the story of the beginning of the world. And for some reason in Wagner's life, we start out in the river Rhine, in the water, and it starts out with a single note and it builds and it's so exciting, and then it sort of explodes into the song of the Rhine maidens, who are sort of usually thought of as a mermaid-like creature. So there are 3 of them, and they are supposed to be guarding the Rheingold, which is that golden star there. It's a special kind of gold, and if you forswear love, you can take it and make a ring, and then you become master of the universe. Alberich the dwarf, there you see him, he doesn't have any luck seducing the Rhine maidens, so he figures, well, why not? I forswear love. Forswear love, there's the black heart, so he's never going to love or accept love, and then he can take the gold, which he does. And if there's an opera lawyer in the house, I'd like to know, is that really theft, or is he just not obeying what's been laid out? I don't know. They always say he steals the gold, but I really think he made the deal. Okay, meanwhile, the scene shifts, and the head god Wotan, he's symbolized by a blue cat's eye because he has given up an eye for knowledge. Now, in the Ring, kind of it happens after Das Rheingold, but he is symbolized by this eye, which gives him knowledge. And his wife, Fricka, have built the fortress of Valhalla, so that nice gold bead is Valhalla. Now, Fricka wanted Wotan to build this castle because he is a wanderer and he always has been, and he likes to sleep around, so she wants this castle and she thinks he'll stay home more. Okay, so even gods have their problem, and they had to hire the frost giants, these nice frosty beads here. They had to hire them to build the castle, which they did in quick order because being giants, they're good at these things. Okay, but here's the problem, friends. We have to pay the giants, and somebody told them they could have the goddess of love, Freya. And the problem being, not just that Freya didn't agree to this, but she grows these golden apples, which keep all the gods fresh and young. And if they don't get the apples, they're going to age, and it's not going to be pretty. So her brother Fro shows up. He's all upset because obviously he doesn't want his sister to be given to these giants. He's symbolized by a leaf because he is the god of the fertility and growing things. And she's a flower because she is the spring love goddess. A little heart there too. And Thor comes and he's upset too. He has a gray crackle bead because he's the god of thunder and lightning. So that crackle sense. And then, everybody's all in angst, and then Loki shows up. Loki is what we call a demigod. He's half god and half man, I guess. And he is associated with fire, so he's got a really red, fiery bead. And why, all these gods are hand-wringing and Loki is the one who has the solution, we can only guess. So he suggests that they go and visit Albric, the dwarf, this tiny little black bead, and steal back the Rheingold treasure and use that to pay the giants. Let me go back a little so you can see all the golden beads that create the Rheingold treasure. And of course Albric isn't too happy about that, and when they take the ring and all the gold, he curses the gold. And that black bead there is the curse. Right there. So this is his big idea. He's going to curse the ring. Anybody who touches it is going to have misfortune and die. Nice. Well, we can't blame him, really. So Wotan really wants to keep the ring and give all the gold to the giants except for the ring because he knows it's going to be powerful. So Erda shows up. She's got a little flower on that bead somewhere. She is the earth goddess, and for some reason she pops up and she tells Wotan that I can see everything that's going to happen and it isn't good. So, don't touch the ring. So eventually the giants get the ring as part of their payment. And immediately upon getting the gold, one giant kills the other. They are brothers and the brother kills brother. So it's at that point that everybody realizes the curse is real and we have a serious problem on our hands in creation. So, it gets all cloudy and miserable and everybody's really depressed. But Thor decides to clear up all this smog by striking his hammer. And this is the best part for me. I wait for this part when he smashes the hammer and he sings Calling the Clouds. It's so good. And after the clouds clear, there's a rainbow. And Thor tells Fro to help the other gods get over the bridge, the rainbow bridge, to the castle of Valhalla. So you see we have all these rainbow-colored beads there, and the fortress. And Wotan continues to think on everything that has happened, and he's really intrigued by Erda and how she has all this knowledge when he's head god, so why doesn't he know it? So it is from Erda's knowledge that he ends up losing that eyeball. And then the Rhine maidens thought they were going to get their gold back. Here they are. And unfortunately it didn't happen. So they are lamenting as the gods make their way across the bridge in that majestic entry of gods to Valhalla music. Now I had Das Rheingold on while I was working this week. Just, some version off YouTube that I was listening to. And when that entry of God to Valhalla music comes up, it's just I don't know, goosebumps or something. It's really intense. Well, long as we're here, I'm going to give you a quick look at our Inspired by bracelet for Das Rheingold and the earrings. So I'm going to flip you back again. See if I can get this bracelet to cooperate with me. It's a Friday. Nobody wants to work, including bracelets. Okay. So this is what we call the Primordial Rhine bracelet. So it's all sort of greens and blues representing the river and the sunlight on the river. You see these beads here that are green with gold floating around inside them to represent the Rheingold. So our charms are the ring, of course, the Rhine maiden. There she is. Go look at her. And we have a black padlock for Elbric's deal that he has made. And then these I'm calling the full circle earrings. They represent Das Rheingold and Götterdämmerung because the ring ends and begins with the same situation. Valhalla and the Rhine maids. So there we go. So I hope you will take part in watching the ring this weekend. Like I said, it's a Gold Rush theme, and who knows what that means with the ring. You can see all kinds of wacky stuff with ring cycles. So hopefully it's going to be, you know, one of these ones that is like just really doesn't make any sense. Let's trust Francesca Zambello that she's done a great job. And click the link, you'll see the book which goes through all the ring cycle jewelry. There is a ring cycle necklace, which each week I'm planning to show something different for each opera. So we'll do that. Meantime, if you are not a Wagner person, because I think there are people who just, they don't do Wagner. It's long, it's heavy, there's a lot of political implications, so they just don't do Wagner. But I discovered this week, go to Opera Australia's page. They have something they do every summer. It's called Honda Opera on Sydney Harbour. And it's basically people arrive at sunset, they drink champagne. It's just such an event for them every summer. It's a very elegant, fun, outdoor event. And they build this really extravagant set, like on the water. It's really cool. And it's really over the top. And because they're outdoors, they're mic'd opera singers, so, you know, that's just the way it has to be when you're outside. But they have all the biggies. They have Carmen, La Traviata, Aida, Turandot, La Boheme. So they have the big classics, and they do them outside, and it's really interesting. So you get to Opera Australia's website. It's not exactly obvious where to go, but they click their menus and look for something that says, like, watch and television or something. You'll get that it's something to do with streaming. And really cool productions, and apparently they're available anytime, so you can fit that in your schedule wherever you'd like. Just at least take a look at it, because this concept of the opera on the water and the funky stage, it's pretty cool. All right, so you've got that. All right, I'm going to let you go. Have a wonderful weekend. Again, 1 p.m. tomorrow is when they start that Das Rheingold stream. It's 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And I guess you have the opportunity to watch it through to Sunday. I mean, it must be midnight San Francisco time, something like that. And each weekend in March, they'll be moving along with the ring. And again, they have a lot of auxiliary content for if you really want to dive in and learn things about the ring. And those things cost per event, or you can buy a pass for the whole thing. But the operas themselves are free. People are not understanding that the operas are free, and then they're paying $100 and not realizing they didn't have to. So, I mean, not that the auxiliary content won't be wonderful, but if you just want to watch the opera, you do not have to pay. And I talked to them at San Francisco Opera. It's definitely free. Okay. Thank you all for taking a moment to be with me. And again, I hope we can all, you know, it's kind of like, you know, a weekend where we would all go to the movie theater and watch the same thing. You know, we can kind of participate in that together. There will be a lively conversation online surrounding the ring, especially if you're part of the Met Live in HD fans group. I mean, it has nothing to do with the Met, but they're all talking about it already. Okay? So have a great rest of your weekend.